welcome back to another episode from the Let's Play series, where I have been hard at work. As you saw just then in the time-lapse, I have done a little bit of work down at the harbour. And I'll get to what that mess is in just a second. For now, let's just have a little look at what is going on over here. So you remember last time, this was all just a sort of hollowed out area where I was going to be building the harbour, and here is my start to it. We're a little bit bare at the moment, but it is getting there. At least the main buildings are now in place. So here is their main warehouse, without a floor just yet. But this is going to be the main storage area of the harbour. So in here we've got everything that's of value, but it's not so big that it needs to have its own storage place. So like the crops and bits and pieces that people have been making, that sort of thing. Things which can be loaded onto boats, but they don't need to have any major machinery to move it around. I have also, just at the back of here, and there will be a floor in here eventually, by the way, here I have got a little sort of valuables area as well. So just in case people wanted to store any gold or anything like that that they wanted to put onto a ship, that's where they would keep it. If we just have a little look outside, and the reason why they built this nice big new warehouse that's out here is because this is the old one, and it is in a very sorry state of repair now. The roof is all collapsing down, it's broken down on this side, it's littering up the floor. People are still using it because they have to, so they're storing water wheels in here and other bits and pieces, but for the most part, this building has definitely seen much better days. Also, just around the corner, and the only other thing that I could think of really that they would have in a harbour of this sort of size is I've made a couple of little fishing shacks, which I'm actually, if I'm perfectly honest, really rather pleased with. I think these guys are really cute, these two little shacks just here. So they've got somewhere there where they're able to smoke up the fish. I need to go and kill a load of salmons and cods and slowly fill up these racks so that they've got something that they've actually been fishing for around here. And then we've also got a little bit of space around there where I've just been filling in the dirt as well. But this little area here is looking, I think, reasonably full. The ground as well is supposed to represent where people have been moving a lot, so where I've put down the dirt, like just here, this is supposed to be where ground's maybe got a little bit scuffed, and then I've tried to keep it a bit clearer where maybe people aren't moving around quite so much. Not too sure on that one. I might need to jazz that up a little bit, and certainly we're going to need some kind of safety railing going on around here. The only other thing that we've got then is this up here at the moment. So this is a little bit of a storage area that I thought I could have for the blocks coming in from the crane. So my thought is that they're going to be bringing up the blocks from the quarry. That arm there will then swing round in an arc like so. So I reckon it would end about there. They'd then put the blocks here, and then they'd get transported into here, and then they'd get transported out of this big gap to down there, which does mean, ooh, I'm going to need some kind of a crane up there in order to move things around. And that is where I'm at so far. So I think the harbour is coming along quite nicely. It is at the moment made only of decorative blocks. There's nothing in here that can be used as a farm or anything like that. So it's just kind of for looking at. But the important thing is we are now reaching the stage where this little island has got a purpose. So we've got the quarry, we've got things being made, and here is where they're being shipped out from. It does still need a pier, which I'm thinking is probably going to have to go out there, just because that's where the open water is. If you've got a big boat, I feel like that's the only place where it's really going to be able to dock. Because if I just go up a little bit and we have a look around, the rest of the waterways around this island are pretty narrow. I don't think you'd want to be moving any kind of cargo ships around there. You're definitely going to end up just sticking to this one big space here. And I thank everyone for their patience, by the way, because I know video updates have been really sporadic recently. It has been a long gap between them, or suddenly two at once, or something like that. And to be honest with you, I'm actually at university at the moment. I returned as a mature student in real life to go and do a master's, and I am currently in exam time. And sadly, that does then mean that has to take up some of my time, so videos are going to continue to be a little bit on the erratic side until the end of January. And I suppose messy things going on in real life brings us on to this mess that I've built just over here quite nicely. So what is this and what is actually going on? Well, so that is the side of the pump house, which if you remember, it has got two little pipes that are going down into the bottom of the quarry, and they're going to be sucking up any of the water that collects in here when this place gets flooded. And I got a comment in the, well, funny enough, in the comments section to say, why not have the water that gets pumped out of the quarry then get transported down to where all the mud is on this side of the island? And that is a brilliant idea because it's a great way for us to top up the mud over there. That is what they're being converted into packed mud. And so this is a little sort of aqueduct that I've built that goes all the way down here, snakes around this corner, and then it plops off here into the mud down at the bottom. And one of the things which I really like about this actually is, one, it looks completely different from the rest of the island, having all of these pillars which are really concentrated and quite regimental looking, and it makes these little sort of gaps like this one just here next to where the tree farm is. And I'm thinking, if I lived on this island and there is this space underneath here that's quite sheltered, it's away from the rain, if I was, for example, down on my luck and maybe I couldn't afford one of those little houses around the corner, this just might be where I set up my camp. And so that is what I want to make. I want to make a little sort of homeless encampment for people underneath here for while they're going through tough times. Just like so. So you can see here where I have started building up a little bit of a sort of, not a shanty town, it is very much supposed to be a corner where people who don't have a home at the moment are currently living. Perhaps they're waiting at the moment, they're waiting for one of the houses on the other side to come available, and this is where they're taking shelter for now at least. So you can see I've tried to make it look like they're drying washing around here. Sadly, they do have an eviction notice. It looks like the government of this little island isn't too happy about them being here. They've also got little beds around the place, so there's a bed just tucked underneath here where someone could take shelter. There's a little seat around here as well where someone could maybe cook something over their fire. And as well, if I just come around the corner, whoop, we've got another couple of beds just here. So someone can be sleeping here and someone is sleeping here as well. And they've got their fires around the place trying to keep warm, and they've got a bit of a roof over their heads just trying to stay out of the elements. Slightly bleak, I guess, for a Minecraft world, but I do think it fits this island where life is not supposed to be very easy. Anyway, for now though, I think I'm going to move on from this little area, and what I want to do, if we just run in this direction, is it is time to move the animals over to the farming district, I think, and so I want to build a bridge going from here straight through that island just there. It is time to make ourselves a nice little tunneler, and let's bore our way through that island so that we can get to the village on the other side. And how are we going to do that? Well, I'm going to be using some deployers. So if we just have a little look over here, this is a deployer that you can see it's got a little sort of pokey hand. That's where it's going to be deploying things, and it uses this little brass hand that you can see there, which has got 4 brass sheets on it. That is why we have got our little blaze guy down below. He's going to be able to make that for us. And then it also needs to have electron tubes added to it. They do use quartz, don't they, if I remember correctly? Yes, they do. How much quartz have I got, just out of curiosity? Well, that's not exactly a lot then. I think I'm probably going to need a little bit more of that. Okay, first thing we need to do then is get some quartz together. Then we can make our electron tubes, then we can make our deployers. Quartz though, quartz. Instead of going to the nether, I am pretty certain you can make quartz by haunting sand and then having that be washed. Yes, if we wash down some soul sand, that's going to give us nether quartz. 12% chance. We're going to need quite a lot of soul sand to get enough, but that's fine because of course we've got a sand machine now, so we've got plenty of sand on the way, and haunting of soul sand, I'm pretty certain that is just going to be quick little look. Oh, do we have to use soul soil or can we use sand? I suspect it's either. Anyway, all we need to do is get hold of some nice blue flames, waft that with our fan, and then we can haunt sand into soul sand and then wash the soul sand and we can get quartz. So, this is going to be a little bit of a runaround, but we should be able to do that. Step 1, I need to go and get... And of course it's night time at the moment, let's hope there's no mobs over here. I'm pretty certain I have just put the last of my soul sand over here in the little area that I've literally just built. Is there anybody around? There's you. No creepers, that's fine, just give me that. Nope, that was mud, just give me that. Ooh, I run away. We'll run back again. And then what I'm going to do is we'll go and grab some of our sand, which should be down here in the machine that we made last time. Oh, you think I planned this or something like that. In here we should have plenty of sand. This has been running for a little while now. So we have indeed 12% chance. Let's just take a row. There you go. That'll be fine. That should give us plenty of quartz once we've washed that down. Then we'll run back. I'll just pick up a flint and steel, and then we'll go over to the bulk washing machine. Okay, right, here we are. We're at our bulk washing. I need to get those leaves and that water out. Did I bring a bucket? No, of course I didn't. That would have been far too convenient. What I'll do is I think I'll just dig through here. Anything I can block that off with? I'm going to have to use you. Okay, that's fine. But if we just do this and then we come back, we should be able to remove that, get rid of the water, and then swap this block out here for our soul soil. And then if we light on top of that, we should be able to get our nice haunting particles going. Right, let's have a look. Ooh, there we go, nice little blue particles. We know that should be haunting away quite nicely. And now I will just throw all of our sand in here. Wait for that, and it should turn into some soul sand for us. And there we go. Right, that can just stay like that for a second, and I'll come back with some more water for it. And I'll just run and grab some more leaves now that I've got rid of all of those. Put the machine back together again. Right, back again. So if now we remove that soul soil from down there, that gets rid of our fire. I will just pop the leaves back on top of there and we will re-waterlog those. And there we go, so we're back now to normal washing. And we should be able to just whack all of our soul sand in there and it will be washed down into quartz for us. While I put things back together a little bit. Got anything else I can use? It's going to have to be you, I'm afraid. Yep, that looks fine. There we go, and we can see our quartz coming through for us nicely. There we go. So that's not too bad, really, when you consider that from one row of sand we've got ourselves 4 whole stacks and a little bit of quartz and a little bit of gold as well. That is not to be sniffed at. Right, from here then we can go back and we can start crafting up those little rose quartzes. From here though, what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to start building the actual mining and tunneling contraption first, and then from there I'll decide how many deployers I actually need. I think that's going to be the best way to do it, rather than just wasting brass and wasting bits and pieces of redstone and quartz on something that I'm not going to need immediately. So let's see if I've got a wrench somewhere, haven't I, as well? Let's take that with us and we'll start putting these bits and pieces together and getting an idea of what we want the contraption to actually look like. Do I have glue as well? And once we've got that into a stable sort of shape, from there we can decide how many of the deployers we're going to need. So the aim for this machine then is that it's going to be able to dig its way through the hillside. I think I called it an island earlier. It's definitely not an island, it is a hillside. It's going to be able to dig its way through there though, and then it'll be able to place the tunnel as it goes so that I don't have to run along behind it and place all of the blocks manually, because that would be boring. I'd much rather just have a nice little mining contraption that does it for me. So, we know that it's going to be going from here. I also know that I want it to be at least 5 blocks wide, because at some point this is going to end up having train tracks on it as well. So, did I bring any blocks? Let's use these. So if it needs to be at least 5 blocks wide, 3 for the train tracks in the middle, then 1 on either side. That's going to be the absolute minimum. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's say that's the direction the bridge is going to go in. That's the direction I want my mining machine to run in. So I'm going to need to have my rails running down the centre from there. This is the middle bit. Let's have that as our starting point. So we'll pop on a little cart assembler and we'll have a look at what this mining contraption is. I've got a funny feeling it is just, oh yeah, it's like a little tiny square of drills that just digs things out a little bit. That's fine. So it's already 2 on this side. I want it to be a little bit wider. Ooh, this is using linear chassis. I'm pretty certain I can just add wood onto the side of that. Oh, of course, I did not bring a lever with me. I swear, I am incapable of just bringing everything I need to one build in one go. It's always got to be back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Right, so back again. So this means that we do now have the option that we're able to power on and off our little cart loader. But what I want to be able to do is I want to be able to add on a little bit to one side of this. So we want it to be at least 5 blocks wide. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's for the tunnel itself. I also need it to be able to dig out the blocks around the side, which is going to be where my decorative blocks are going to be placed. So it now needs to be at least 7 blocks wide. And it will need to go along the base as well. You might still get to my lever. So that's how wide the tunnel is going to be. How tall do I want it to be as well? Oh, thinking about a train running down that. So ignore those blocks on the edges. Those will be decorative blocks. That's probably tall enough, to be honest with you. It is not going to be that big. For one thing, this is not that big of a hill. I don't want the tunnel to be sticking right up at the top. So from here, I think I'm just going to round off the top. We'll come around and we'll just pillar up a little bit. And then we'll just make it vaguely sort of tunnel shaped up here. So that's going to be a decorative block. Let's say that would be a decorative block. That should be fine. So if you imagine that this little inside area there is how big the tunnel is actually going to be, that should be fine for running through it with a train or a minecart or on a horseback or whatever I feel like doing. So now all I need to do is cover all of this in drills. Okay, that is what you call an imposing looking wall of drills if ever I saw one. Looks like something that belongs in Indiana Jones. But still, this should do the job for us. So you can see it is going to carve out a nice tunnel shape for us. And now we just need to work out how many deployers we're going to need around the back, laying down decorative blocks. So the sides are definitely going to be blocks. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're going to need 10 deployers definitely doing the sides. And then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up at the top as well. Okie dokie. So we're going to be needing at least 15 deployers. Do I want those to be squares or do we want them to be stairs instead? No, for now I think we'll lay them all down as blocks. Right, so I need to go and grab myself 15 of our deployers. Which I have now got. There we go, 15 nice little deployers down there. I did actually have to take the mining contraption out into the mines, and I'm hoping it will just slot back into this space just here. If I put him there? Ah, yeah, there you go. That seems to have fit back in quite nicely. Right, so though, let's have a little bit of a think about these deployers. So, I know that I want these edge pieces here to be my decorative block. I also know that a deployer needs a gap in front of it before it's willing to press anything down, so I'm going to have to place the deployers right up here in the central sort of aisle that we've got. So, if I ooch up to here, I should be able to place them. 3, 4, 5. There we go, they should all be able to put blocks just there, and I need to do the same on the other side. This chest is now in the way. Let me just... oh, I'm going to have to activate that to... oh. Break that down. Oh, look at all that stuff come out. That's fine. Back up you go. Right, give me all this. Let me just run and put all this stuff carefully in this chest. Let's get rid of it. This is what I've just been getting out of the mines. Right, let's just put all this in here. Hey, so from here then, that chest is going to be plenty to be able to pick up everything that this is going to take out. I'm not really all that fussed if it keeps all the blocks, it's only going to be stones and that sort of thing. But I do need to get the rest of my deployers. Once again, missing one block down the centre. I need to place them along here. That's too far away, isn't it? Yes, it is. Let's pick you up. I wonder if it's that glue there that's causing the problem. Let's see if it'll do it just above. Oh, no, no, no. I know what it'll be. You need to go back down again. Right, try it from there. Ah, there we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Whoop. Okay, so we've got all of our side deployers in place. Now we just need to put in the ones that are going to build the roof for us. So that we can see it's going to be making this sort of archy kind of shape. And we'll be able to work with that. We just need to come back one block so that we're not getting in the way of these deployers just here. So if I say that's the next one I want to place, I need to skip a block and the deployer needs to be there. So if I come out by 2 and place a deployer on top of that, it'll be fine to place that block, and then I need to go 3 above. And there we go. So if I just pop my deployers on those, I'll be able to make my little roof as well. Where are they? Here they are. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. That should be the lot of them. So we've got an entire selection of little pointy hands poking up. Everything now just needs to be glued together so that it all moves as one. Otherwise, when I set off this contraption, it's going to end up leaving half the blocks behind. Okay, so I think everything is glued. We will find out if it's not, if we leave something behind, but I am hoping everything is now involved in that. If I just flip this lever, does it look like everything moves? Oh, we seem to have placed some random dirt, so we know that we're definitely doing things in the right order. Those deployers will need to be told what they're actually going to be putting down, but still, they've made the right pattern, so I'm guessing everything is included in the gluing at least. Right, back down we go. And now, of course, I've got to clear away all this dirt. But that is a good sign, though. The fact that it has made our tunnel shape for us is a really good sign that it's actually all in working order. Of course, I can't reach that one up there. Doop, doop, doop. Doop, doop, doop. Go, go, and go. Right, let's have a look in here and we'll get everything out of this tub for now. Come to me. Let's have you, actually. Let's put everything into here. Because anything that is in here is going to feed into these deployers right now because they've got nothing else that they can look at. We will tell them what I want them to make in terms of patterning and shape and blocks and that sort of thing. For now, I do not want them to be feeding off the cobble that is inside this chest. So, looking at these little deployers though, what do I want them to use? Well, I want them to create a pattern that is going to have layered tuff down at the bottom of it, then 3 rows of bricks, then another layer of layered tuff, and then the roof is going to be made out of this polished cut deep slate and small deep slate bricks. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go around and I'm going to split these blocks up a little bit. And I'm going to say, right, you down the bottom, you will be feeding polished, layered tuff. That's going to be your one. You are going to be doing exactly the same. There's your block. You are going to be a bricklayer. Have some bricks. You are going to be a bricklayer as well. Same with you up there. Some bricks. No. You have some, if I can get that little hand, bricks. Did he pick it up? Yes, he did. Right. You also, point through at the hand of the back. You see it does change shape. It's hard to tell because it's in these blocks, but it's okay because it'll just place them on this side. You have now got bricks. You're there. You need bricks. 4. No. Same on this side. Whoa. And then the very top row, I want to go back to using our nice layered tuff again, so we're making a pretty pattern in our little tunnel. And there we go, and I'll go through and I'll just place down the rest of these up at the top as well. So this is our little roof shape that we're making. I want this to have polished cut deep slate on that side, polished on that side, and then in the middle we'll have these nice little deep slate bricks. So we'll have one for you, and one for you. And now we should be good to go. Everybody is putting down the right block. That should be it though. That is now laying down the pattern that we want and everything is involved. I should be able to now take the wrench, pick up this contraption, take it over to our hill, and then we'll be able to set it off, cutting and placing blocks at the same time. I am going to need to send out, though, a little guideline from here so that I know exactly where I'm putting it on the other side. So what I will do is I'm just going to dig this away, and for now, I'm just going to mark it down with dirt, something that's going to be easy for me to get rid of a little bit later on. Because obviously the bridge itself isn't going to be made out of dirt. That will be made out of stone eventually. For now, though, I just want to get the tunnel made. So what I'll do is I will take this over there and dig a little guideline through there, and we will come back once I am ready to set this bad boy off. Okay, so one little guiding path dug through the side of the hill. I did run out of bricks, unfortunately. It's not going to have enough to get all the way through, but that's fine. We'll have enough bricks to get a good idea of how this is going to look. So, I just come down here, though. Click you. Whoop. There we go. There you go. So we're showing our pattern a little bit of how our little tunnel is going to be looking. Right. This is the nerve-wracking bit now. Let's go and find out if all of this work has been for naught or if it's actually going to do the job we want it to. Think brave thoughts, think brave thoughts. Come to me. Right, okay, that's fine. Nothing of importance is left behind. Do I have anything to power this with? Yes, I have coal. There's the contraption. Right. Of course the sun's going down, but never mind. Right. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. Pop you down there. Right. So, please go. There he goes. Look at him go. Oh, look at him. Oh, brilliant. Little tunnel maker. Do my work for me, my pretty. I don't have to do any digging. You will do it. You will place the stuff. I will just hide here and torch up behind you so that I don't get killed by creepers while I'm here. I mean, no, seriously though, this has got to be just about the most satisfying aspect of Create. When it is doing something like this, it is just so pleasing. So this was only as far as we were able to get before we did run out of bricks on this side. I'll just have to wait for them to build up a little bit more in the contraption on the other side, but we can see exactly how the tunnel is going to be looking, and I'll just continue it on through until we reach right the way down to the other side. Now, just checking there's no creepers around going to blow me up. If I quickly just go through into little Freecam mode, if I whiz right the way through this mountain, you can see the village is just there. So I can bring that tunnel out to here and then maybe build a bit of an overland bridge going right the way around. I don't want to tunnel through all of this terrain all the way through to the village. I think that's going to be a bit excessive and frankly a bit unnecessary. We've just gone through this slice of hill here. But this is very pleasing anyway. Still, this is a good little start to the tunnelling prospects. I am quite happy with this as progress. But what I do need to do is I will get a few more bits and pieces of resources together. This is the ugliest bridge in the history of, oh god, it's another one of you, of the universe at the moment. So I'll need to get this decorated up as well and also connect it into the land because at the moment it is floating on this side. But, oh my god, really? You've come all the way up there to come and get me? Have I got a bow or anything on me? No, of course I haven't. But this time, in your face, I am actually wearing some ouch armour. Ouch. Get off the bar. Get off it. Oh my god, that nearly killed me. Right, I'm going to bed. But as I was saying, for I was rather rudely interrupted, I am happy with how our little tunnel is looking. I will get that finished off for the next episode. That is where I'm going to leave this one for now, though. I can hear a zombie somewhere, and I'm not very sure where he is. That's fine, though. As long as he can't come and get me, I'm not too fussed about that. Anywho, though, I hope you've enjoyed this little episode. Happy Minecrafting, everyone, and I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye!